Hey there, and welcome to this video where I am going to show you how to use the Moon Journal. Right now I have it open in a simple PDF reader. There are links in it that will take you to all kinds of places, and I do want to emphasize that this version of the Moon Journal is meant to be a digital version for digital use. You could print it out if you wanted to, however, there are 175 pages and they are not set up to print in a way that would necessarily flow in a printed version. So this is strictly a digital version use here. Right now you can see we are on the first page, and I'm just going to scroll up to the second page where you will find details on how to use the Moon Journal. I want to point out that I'm going to choose a color to circle things. I'm going to choose pink because that feels like fun right now. So I want to point out that there's an app I use, and there's a link right there to it. Oh, that's really thick. Let's see, let's make it smaller. There's a link there to that app where you can download it, and then you click on this lovely little video link here that will show you how to use that app so that you can determine what phase the moon is in and what zodiac sign the moon is in transit through. And I will explain more about that coming up here. This section here is this video that I'm recording right now. So that will be linked in the planner for folks who are learning how to use it. Okay, as we scroll up here, so the first thing you want to do is use that app to understand the moon phase and the transit sign. And I've already looked it up. The moon phase is a waning crescent and the transit sign is Capricorn. So what I am going to do is go to the menu, and I did that by clicking on menu here. So I'm now in the menu, and I am going to go to, now that I know what sign the moon is in, I'm going to go to Moon Astrology. So I'm going to tap that, and it takes me to the page where I can now look to see what Capricorn is about here. Let's see if we can make this bigger. Get out of that little drawing phase and make it bigger here. So a moon transit in Capricorn can mean a time of increased ambition, responsibility, and practicality. It can also be a time to focus on self-improvement, career goals, and long-term planning. So keep these things in mind here as we go fill out the journal prompts for the waning crescent phase of the moon. So increased ambition, responsibility and practicality, long-term planning, self-improvement, and on we go. So now I'm going to tap back on the menu there, or I could tap onto moon phase notes. If I tapped on the menu, it would take me back to the menu where I could choose the moon phase notes, but they're right here. So I'm just going to tap on them from this section. So moon phase notes. So here we are in the menu for the moon phase notes. We are currently in the month of February. So I'm going to tap on February, and it's going to take me to the moon manifesting notes page. We are in the phase of the waning crescent. So I'm going to tap on that, and here I am in the journal page. Now, here we are in the sign of Capricorn, and I believe that is that sign right there. And you could write Capricorn, my little scribbles there. And you can go ahead and fill out the rest of the prompts. And when you're filling out the prompts, you've got your date here, and then you look down to see, what do I need to release control of? Well, to tie it back to the moon transit in Capricorn, you can consider, what do I need to release control of when it comes to self-improvement, so on and so on. And if you forget what the prompt, what the Capricorn information was about, you can tap on this word sign, and that will take you back so you can review what Capricorn was. So where do I want to release control when it comes to responsibility and practicality? Or where do I want to release control when it comes to my career goals or long-term planning? Okay, so I'm going to go back to click on the moon phase notes here to take me back to February, to that waning crescent. And let's see what else. Then the next prompt is, what do I need to be open to receive? What space do I need to create in my life? So you've got the 3 prompts here that you can reflect on. Each phase of the moon is about 2.5 or so days. So you wouldn't be necessarily filling one of these phases out every day. It's something that you will do about 3, maybe 4 times a week. Okay, so let's tap off that and go back to the menu, and I'll show you a few other things. Actually, I'm going to stay in this February waning crescent here, and I'm going to show you the mood tracker. So when you click on the mood tracker in any given month, it's going to take you to that month's mood tracker. So here we are in February, and it is the 23rd today, and we are in a waning crescent phase. So you could maybe fill in part of that little circle, or you could just write WC for waning crescent, whatever feels right for you, however you want to track that. And then you've got number 2, so here's the 2 line going that way, being your morning mood, and you can label it as a P for positive, N for negative, and any U for neutral. So I was in a positive mood this morning. And then you've got 3 for your evening mood, and I am in a positive mood this evening. And that is the mood tracker. There's one for every month. If you click on this menu here, let me get out the little pen. That's going to take you back to the content menu, where you can also go to the mood tracker from that area as well. So I'm going to click on it from that area, and here you have your menu. So you can choose whichever month you want to go to for that mood tracker. Okay, I'm going to click back on the menu here. One thing that I personally don't use, because I do not have the equipment anymore that is required, but I think it can be super helpful for a lot of gals, is the monthly period tracker. So I'm going to click on that here, and it takes you to the page where you have a year at a glance. And I think this is so helpful, or would have been so helpful for me when I was having periods, to see everything in one page. You have your key here that you get to fill out however you want to signify your flow. And then you've got all 12 months of the year. So that's really going to help you at a glance to see any trends that are happening, to see any patterns. And then you can circle the phases of the moon, or however you want to use it, for the duration of your cycle, or the heavy flow possibly, or however your cycle is working, however you choose to use this. So that is the period tracker. Also, on the lower menu and on the content menu, we have options of a vision board, the creative expansion pages, and the journal. So I'm going to click on the vision board here. And here we are at the vision board. So this is where you can capture. I actually would recommend doing this before, at the beginning of each moon phase, kind of capturing what you want to do for that 28 or so day cycle, 27 and a half, 28 day cycle. What is your vision? And one thing I want to point out is there are 2 pages of the vision board. You can see that this one here does not have a menu at the bottom. Oops. And this one here does have the menu at the bottom. There are only 2 pages because in a digital planner, we have the ability to add a duplicate page. So my recommendation is that you use the second page to duplicate. Let's see if I can get that to do that here. So I went to my page sorter. You can see all of the pages. I'm going to click on those little ellipses and I'm going to click copy. And now I'm going to paste it. So you can see how I made that duplicate page there. And then you can just move it up wherever you want to. Okay, now let's go out of this screen. So here we have now another page. So my recommendation is that you use the page with the menu as kind of like a placeholder for you. And then you duplicate the second page to use to write on. Using the page with the menu is going to give you easy access to the menu to get back to where you want to go and to navigate within the planner. Alrighty, so now I'm going to click on the Creative Expansion link. And that takes you to a blank page where you can capture notes and things like that. Notes, brainstorming, creative expansion. And then the last page I'm going to click on here is the journal. Oh, and by the way, before I click on journal, it's the same recommendation here. There's 2 pages of this. One is blank. The other has the menu here. I would recommend creating a duplicate of this page here and before you write on it. And then so you can see we can scroll down to the journal pages, or you can actually click on the journal page here. And here we are at the journal pages. And again, same concept. Create a duplicate page of the journal pages and save the one with the menu on it as your main menu. Okay, so before I end, oh, yeah, go down this way. We have some suggested resources for going deeper. There are links there you can look into. Clicking on my logo there is going to take you back to the main menu. And last but not least, I wanted to point out the moon expansion pages here. And you can get to them by clicking on the links, but I'm just going to scroll down because they're the very next pages. So you've got the names of the full moons. Each month has a different full moon, and there's a different story behind the name of each of the full moons. And then you have the types of moons, the new moon and the full moon types. And then that's that moon astrology page. And you also have the moon phases and meanings that you can review. These are also captured in the menus for the moon phases that we've already looked at. I'm going to scroll back up here to one last thing. I want to show you the moon meditations. So at the time of this recording, I don't have them all recorded yet, but I'm recording them as I go based on the next phases of the moon that are coming in. So I'm going to click on that link and it's going to take you to a YouTube playlist called Moon Journal. And here you'll be able to search for meditations for the new moon, meditations for the full moon. So you can see we have coming up with March, the full worm moon. So there's a meditation there for that already that I just uploaded. And I believe that is it. Always, please, please, please feel free to reach out if you have any questions, feedback. I'm always open to feedback and ideas for improvement and ways to help you become more connected with the moon and the cycles of the moon and how they relate to you individually. All right. Until next time, enjoy the expansion, my friends.